What up, nerds?
That isn't very nice.
I'm Jared, and this is Changelog News for the week of Monday, October 3rd, 2022. Yes, October has arrived, and you know what that means. Hacktoberfest is in full swing. This year, there's a new emphasis on non-code contributions. That's pretty cool. Get your 4 contributions accepted during the month of October, and DigitalOcean will plant a tree in your name, or they'll send you the official Hacktoberfest t-shirt. Our transcripts repo is a great way to get started. Pick an episode that interests you, fix the unintelligibles in the markdown file, and open up a PR. Legend has it, we operate the fastest merge button this side of the metaverse.
She's fast enough for you, old man.
Okay, let's see what's new. Divam Gupta's DiffusionBee turns 1.0. I mentioned this GUI app for macOS on our episode with Simon Willison. It is the easiest way to run stable diffusion locally on your M1 Mac. One-click installer, no dependencies or technical knowledge required, and so on. On the pod, I said DiffusionBee supports text-to-image generation, which it did, and image-to-image generation, which it did not. I was fooled by the UI, which had a placeholder for the feature, but when you actually clicked on it, it said coming soon. Soon is right, because it works now, and it's amazing. If you're on an M1 Mac, I highly recommend checking out DiffusionBee. Our friend and repeat podcast guest Zeno Rocha released Dracula UI this week.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Count Vladislaus Dracula.
It's an open source and totally free, dark-first collection of patterns and components made with React. If you've heard Zeno on the show, you know he sweats the details like we do. Dracula UI is built for dark mode first, designer-friendly with a carefully crafted Figma file, and has a great DX with VS Code snippets provided. Check it out at ui.draculatheme.com. GitX is back with new maintainers.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I mentioned this macOS Git GUI 2 weeks ago while covering Git UI. GitX is the only tool I've preferred over the command line for performing certain Git tasks like chunk and line staging. The app has a long history of various branches and versions maintained by various people over the years. At some point, it fell into a state of disrepair, but a few open source Samaritans picked it up off the side of the road and gave the project new life. The new GitX org and GitX repo are an attempt to consolidate and move forward with a current, common, community-maintained version. I've been using it for the last week, and I couldn't be happier that this tool made a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my pants, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion.
The engineering team at Prerender.io just finished a multi-month migration off AWS and saved themselves a bundle of money in the process. Their annual server costs reduced from $1 million to just $200,000. That's an 80% reduction. Now, it's worth noting what they were up to on AWS. Prerender caches and pre-renders their customers' JavaScript pages so search engines can have a pure HTML file to crawl and index. They are handling over 70,000 pages per minute and storing around 560 million pages. Side note, perhaps server rendering and pre-rendering HTML are good ideas after all. Just saying. Turns out, storing multiple terabytes of pre-rendered web page contents in this way on a third-party server is hugely expensive. Not only that, but traffic costs add up too. Moving off AWS and on to internally owned storage saved Prerender big, but they state the major savings was on the outbound traffic cost. Quote, the true hidden price of AWS is coming from the traffic cost. They sell a reasonably priced storage, and it's even free to upload it, but when you get it out, you pay an enormous cost. End quote. I wonder what a switch to Cloudflare's R2 would have done to their costs. Outbound traffic on R2 is completely free, and it would probably be a much faster and easier migration that might yield them most of those same savings. The takeaway for me, the cloud is a great place to get started, but when your business begins to scale, it pays off to revisit that strategy and see if there are better options. That's the news for now, but stick around if you have a few more minutes. Adam and I recorded a special message inviting you to join us at All Things Open at the end of the month. Have a great week, and we'd love to see you there. Hey everybody, Jared here.
And Adam.
What's going on? We're recording a quick message to let you know we're going to be at All Things Open 2022.
ATO. All Things Open.
It's the 10th anniversary. It's our first time back seeing humans. Have you seen any humans lately?
Every day. Just none of my techie, nerd, geek. What do we call ourselves these days? Nerds? Pretty much just nerds, right?
Yeah, just nerds.
All the people who listen to these shows, you know, what
Software
we do.
people.
Yeah.
Internet people.
Our peeps.
Online people. Yeah, we're excited. We haven't been to a conference. We haven't seen each other except for through this interface for years.
Since 2019, when we did our 10th year anniversary recording with Quincy in my studio.
Was that the last time, honestly?
That was the last time. You flew in and you flew right back out same day. Remember that?
That's right. And that was 3 years ago?
2019.
Okay.
So speaking of 10 years, that was our 10 years. This is ATO's 10 years.
That's right. This will be our, how many times have we attended All Things Open? So we've always gone to OzCon, and we've also tried to go to All Things Open. I think we've gone separately, though. This might be our first time together, because I was there with K-Ball. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
From JS Party. And you were there prior to that, maybe by yourself.
My first time was 2017, and that's actually when I met K-Ball.
That's right.
Yeah. Met him face to face. We hung out. He watched the booth for me for a bit. He was holding down the fort.
That was very kind of him. It turned out well. He got himself onto our podcast that way.
That's how it works.
So lots to be excited about. The first time we've seen each other in a long time. First time we've been out in the community. We've had our correspondents from various shows out there mixing it up at conferences, but you and I haven't personally done that.
That's right.
Until this fall. It's going to be October 30th through November 2nd. And the big days are Tuesday and Wednesday, which I think is the 1st and the 2nd. We'll be there all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. We have a booth. We'll be in the flesh. We'll be attending some talks, doing our conference deal.
Some might say, Jared, that we will have the best booth. Some might say that. Those who come to the booth might say that.
I've heard it called best booth in the building.
Is that right?
Yeah, I heard it called that. Can't remember who was saying that. It might have been me a few minutes ago, but I don't recall. Why? Why is it going to be so cool? I mean, because we're going to be up against the likes of like probably Microsoft and Google. I don't know who the official sponsors are, but we're going to have some people with some budgets. How are we going to pull this off? Best booth in the building.
Ooh, well, first of all, booth number 60. That's a good number.
That's right.
Good round number, good strong number. 60.
Good placement right by the Developer 2 keynote hall.
Yes.
Right next to the elevators. You get off the elevators, going up to the 4th floor. Boom.
That's right. You're going to see us. Bam. You'll see the album art of the Changelog behind us. We have a big banner behind us, a semi-massive TV. I would say a mid-range TV.
We're going to have a mid-range TV.
That's right, with a Switch, a Nintendo Switch.
That's
what makes it the best. Well, I guess we're there, so that might make it, some of the sizzle there. But yeah, we'll have your son, Wes.
Yes.
Competing against anybody who comes to the booth who dares to try to beat him at what? What's the games?
Okay, so here's how it's going to work. This is what we're thinking right now. Exact details to be determined. But here's what we're thinking is we're going to have a Switch. We're going to give away the Switch. To enter to give away, you're going to have to compete on the Switch. My 13-year-old son, Wesley, will be there, our assistant for the week. He is pretty good at Rocket League. Probably better than you. Maybe not, if you're a good player. By you, I'm not talking about you, Adam. I'm talking about our dear listener. So if you can beat Wes at 1v1 Rocket League, you're entered to win. Everybody who plays him gets a t-shirt, so you're going to want to play. Or if that's too hard, because he is pretty good at Rocket League, you can also opt for Mario Kart. And you can play against us. I'll also play you in Rocket League, but I'm not quite as good. Don't let Wes know I said that. And you can play Adam in Mario Kart. How fun is that going to be? So come play some games, get a free t-shirt. Of course, free stickers for everybody while supplies last. And to top it all off, we'll be recording shows as well. So we'll have our mics out. You can come listen to a conversation recorded. You can come be on the show. We'll probably put together something after All Things Open. We usually do a few episodes from the show floor or an anthology episode, just depending on how it shakes out. So I don't know. I feel like that's pretty good to have Best Booth in the Building honors.
Mm-hmm.
So to recap, we'll be there. The changelog artwork will be there.
That's right.
There'll be a TV. We'll be giving away Nintendo Switch, probably with those Pro controllers as well. We're going to give those away too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 Pro controllers and a Switch.
We're not taking those back with us.
T-shirts. Rocket League. Mario Kart.
Stickers.
Shows. We're going to be recording shows.
And we might be just as silly in the flesh. I would say one more thing.
We might be more because you tend to get a little punchy. Go ahead.
A little bit. An invite. If you've been listening to the show for years.
Yeah.
And you've been dying to meet us, or you've got a project or something going on, come tell us your story.
Yeah.
We want to hear from the community, from the trenches.
Even if you haven't been dying to meet us, but you just wouldn't mind meeting us. Like, even that's good enough. Come on by.
Yeah, and let us know. You prefer a hug, a high five, or a fist bump?
Fist bumps. The post-COVID world is strange with greetings now. You have to kind of read the person. Like, is this a fist bump person? Is this a handshake person? Is this a hug?
Or is this a nod? Like this?
Yeah, nod and wave from 6 feet away. So we'll figure all that out live in the flesh at All Things Open at the end of October, beginning of November. So if you're on the fence and you weren't sure about going, definitely come see us. Of course, there'll be tons of amazing speakers. Angie Jones, Alyssa Miller, Kenzie Dodd, Sarah Drasner, just to name a few. There's probably like 100. Holy cow. Their speaker list is
so many.
Epic.
Todd and team does a great job doing this conference, really.
100%. All right, that's that. We'll see you in All Things Open. Booth 60. Best booth in the building.
Booth 60. Raleigh, North Carolina. See you there.
Be there.